So what are we sowing today?
We're doing fiddly carrots, Tess. And there's two kind of ways of doing them, and I've set this up so that we can see the different ways. So you can sow them just by putting sort of rolling them between your fingers and dropping them into this little V shape that I created with a little piece of wood, which is just behind you, and just show. Basically, I just get that wood and just push it into the soil like that. And that's the first way. I don't like doing it that way.
Okay.
I prefer to do it in these wide drills. And the reason is because you can kind of scatter them in these drills around all over the place, basically, as we go. And it makes it really easy to thin them out later, because there's so much more space between them.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to get the same number of seeds, eventually about one seed every inch, but we've just got a lot more space to go at.
How did you make the indents for these?
So I just use that same piece of wood,
Yeah.
just put it in and just sort of
See.
along like that.
Yeah.
So they will need thinning, and thinning is just the process by which we kind of go along, and in sort of 3 or 4 weeks time we just snip off any seedlings that are surplus to requirements. But you can see this is quite a quick process, and we're not worried too much about how many seeds we get in here, because as I said, we're going to thin them out anyway.
So how deep have we sown these?
About a centimetre.
Okay.
And we need to keep them nice and moist, so we're just going to close them up now, and then we'll give them a good water. And we need to keep them nice and moist.
Yeah.
Because carrot seeds, they really won't germinate unless they're continuously moist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm watering the whole bed. If you had got weedy soil, then you might only want to water the drill that we sowed the carrots into. But this is old potato compost and there's no weed seeds in it.
These are the carrots we planted about 2 weeks ago.
They are, and they're just up.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't thin them at this stage, because you kind of want to guarantee that they've kind of survived for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Because just one slug or snail could kind of wipe all these out. And you
Okay.
can see there's a few slug pellets down just to stop that happening.
Yeah.
What we've got here though, these are the ones that we did in the broad drill.
Yeah.
And you can see they're kind of nicely spaced out.
Yeah.
And then these are the ones we did just in a single line. And so they're much closer together.
Yeah.
And that's why I think this way, where they're more spaced out, it's a
Yeah.
lot easier to thin them.
In the broad drill, yeah.
So we're going to pop to the allotment now, and we're going to show you some that have just grown a bit bigger,
Great.
just at the ready for thinning out.
Perfect. Are these the carrots that need thinning?
They are, and we're just going to take this net off that we've had to keep the carrot fly off. And you can see that these are just a little bit further on than the ones in the back garden.
Yeah.
And so we can thin these out now. It's best to thin them out in the evening when there's not much carrot fly around, but we haven't got too much thinning out to do here. We'll just take a look at a few spots where we've got to do it. This row here, for example, that doesn't need any thinning out at all. That's fine. All the carrots, even those that are spaced quite closely together there, they'll just push apart, no problem. The only places really where we probably need to thin out are there, where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carrots all in a 1 inch spot. So what we can do here is we can just get the scissors and just snip those out. You could pull them out as well, but sometimes there's just so many they're a bit fiddly to get out. So let me just see if there's another spot like that. So here, where we've got 3 all together, we'll just take that one out. And then there we've got 3 or 4 together, we'll take just that one out, and those 2 will just push apart, no problem. So that's basically what we need to do, and I'm pretty happy with this because they are fairly well spaced, and less thinning you have to do the better, because carrot fly are attracted by the kind of process of thinning, because as you're kind of snipping them or bruising the leaves of the plants, it kind of gives off an aroma that attracts the carrot fly from quite a long distance actually. So we don't want this cover off for very long, and we don't want to spend too much time thinning.
No. At this stage with the carrots, what do we do with watering?
So carrots are really deep rooted, but right now we're just trying to get them well established, and hopefully they're going to go down at this stage, probably they're like deep rooted down about 4 inches, and so there's a reasonable amount of water in the bed already for them. But as they grow, what we want to be doing is about every 2 weeks, if it's not rained, we want to give them about 1 inch, about that much water, and that'll just keep the beds kind of well hydrated, and keep them going down. You don't want to give them a little bit of water, you want to give them a lot of water, because otherwise they don't grow as deep, and obviously with carrots you want them to go as deep as you can to get nice long carrots.